Hi, I'm Kate at Finder Center Ballet School in Pasco, Washington. We've been working on, in a couple of my ballet classes, the floor pattern of traveling in a square. And this is the basic pattern that later allows you to kind of round out the edges a little bit and travel in a circle. And the idea really is that usually we dance ballet in a rectangular space, a space that has 4 walls. Or you can imagine 4 walls. On the stage, if you have 4 sides, they're not exactly walls. In the studio, we usually have 4 walls, so you just go in each direction, which sounds simple, right? The concept is simple, but it takes a lot of practice to get used to switching directions at exactly the right spot. And when you have multiple people in the room traveling at the same time, you have to be really precise about when you switch and know which direction you're going in. So the basic idea is that we go towards one wall. We'll just go with regular steps. So we'll do 4 steps towards one wall, 2, 3, 4. Then we have to switch on the next step towards the next wall. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now a couple of points here. You need to be careful about your spotting. Spotting is turning the head in the direction that you're going. So every time you switch, you turn the head and shoulders to the next wall. Dun, 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 dun. Turn the head and shoulders. Dun, 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 dun. Another thing is you have to be careful about the distance that you're traveling. So this becomes particularly important when you have, say you have 4 people who are all going to different corners each time. I have to make sure that after 2 steps, I'm in the middle, and 2 more steps, I'm at the next corner. And then I switch, and every person in each of their corners is switching at exactly the same time. We again do 2 more steps, and make sure we're right in the middle. So if you have longer or shorter legs, you have to be really aware of the people around you, aware of your space, and adjust. 2 more steps. We're at the corner again, we switch. Again, you get the idea. Another thing is to be very precise about when you switch. So the way that I was just demonstrating, I was going from here. So I have this leg back, and I bring this leg around, and switching right here. That's one way to do it. I could also switch while I'm standing. So I could take a step, come together, and switch the whole body. I could also do it with my other leg from here. I can switch with this leg. So these are those little details of choreography that we have to work out, especially when we're doing more complicated floor patterns like traveling around in a circle, or in a square, or a circle. So starting with just regular steps like this, then we could do steps that are a little bit more complicated. In my beginning class, we've been doing brushing through, 2, 3, 4, and switch. Dun, 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 and switch. Dun, 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 and switch. Dun, 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 dun. In my intermediate class, we've been doing suit new turns, so these get a little more complicated. So we do turn, dun, and turn. Dun, dun. Then we switch here. Dun, 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 dun. So you can see it gets more complicated as you turn, and I'm not sure that I actually did it the same way both times. But the important thing is to make sure that you determine which way you're doing it, coordinate it with the other dancers, with the choreographer, and be very precise about where you're spotting. So if you're coming out of a turn, if you're doing straight turns and going to the next wall, then you have to start going this way and actually spot that wall when you come around. So as you can see, it gets more and more complicated as you make the steps more complex and add more turns. And it all starts with just taking 4 steps toward each wall, switching to the next wall, switching to the next wall, being really careful about what direction you're going in, where you're looking, and how far you're stepping.